Previously at Tongate Racing.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome back and thanks for watching. So I planned on working on the car today. I got the carbon fiber hatch installed, and now I'm trying to get the lift struts, the lift supports in. I had to go out and buy some new little balls, but I'm going to get these installed real quick, and we're going to try and start working on the battery hold down that's in between the chassis mount wing supports. I'm going to work a little bit back here. It is getting a little late already. I had some running around to do. We're going to get that done and start doing the battery relocation, and maybe start cutting on the hatch to measure between the how long I need the supports for the wing. But we'll try and jam out on this a little bit and see if we can't get something done before it gets too dark. Well, I got the struts in, but they are way too strong for this carbon fiber hatch. Obviously it doesn't have no glass in it yet, but I'm thinking that I need to get some struts that are not as strong. It doesn't say exactly how much force these are, but I'm really having to work to push this down, and I don't like it. I don't know how heavy the back glass is, but with this carbon fiber, we don't want that kind of force, because it'll end up folding it in half. Now obviously when the glass is in there, it'll be a lot heavier, and it'll also be a lot more rigid and stiff. But I still think, even with the glass in it, I think that these are gonna be a little too stiff for this application with this nice carbon fiber hatch. We're gonna cut this back section out and try and get the measurement. I think before I start cutting on that, I want to get down inside there and start mocking up the battery tray and the hold down, because I really want to start working on getting the wire harnesses, all the wire harnesses back in this car. Here in a week or two, we should be getting the rear subframe and all the bars to make all the suspension work and everything. I want to have it all the wire harnesses and everything back in the car before that happens, because I'm going to try and tuck all of the engine bay and all of the harnesses, make them all pretty, cover them with nice pretty loom, and then, work on hiding everything.
What's happening, everybody? Well, it's the next day. I didn't get much done yesterday. Today, we're going to try and mark this out and cut this area. I don't know if the camera's seeing it. Kind of. Let me back this up a little bit. So we're going to mark this area out for the chassis mount wing area and cut this out. Try and make it as nice as possible. I do have a really nice aluminum Optima battery hold down tray. I'm going to try and mount it down there in the in between the stanchions. And that's what I'm kind of work on today. I've already got all the wire harnesses and everything set out in, well, kind of the sun. It'll be in the sun in a little bit. They're warming up so I can maneuver them. I'm going to try and get the chassis harness in the front put back in. Maybe I forgot to put in the upper dash cluster and all that stuff. That wire harness still needs to go in, so I might need to, I don't know if I'll need to pull the dash for that. I might be able to finagle it up and around the steering column or pull the steering column instead. But yeah, I got 3 wire harnesses out here that are trying to warm up, but it's kind of cold today, so I'm not really expecting a whole bunch of warming up. But like I said, we're going to try and get this going. I need to weld a flat piece of metal here, and I need to cut this out to get the right measurement from the lower bar to here, so I can cut the stanchions. That way I can weld a flat piece of metal here, have a flat piece of metal here. That way when I close it, they make contact and they're nice and flush. These do rock around a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. So I'm hoping when I get the X welded in and the top flat piece of metal, it'll kind of shore it up a bit. But I think that's what we're going to do today. I'm not going to get too ambitious. If this goes all smoothly and quickly, I might start mocking up and making brackets to hold the air compressors. There's going to be one on each side underneath the car, mounted upside down in the back here. But I don't think I have any bolts for that. I mean, I've got the riv nuts. I can do that, but I don't know if I want to make brackets or just bolt them to the underside of the car. They do have nice little rubber buffers in them to keep the vibration and the noise down. They look like really awesome air compressors. Via AccuAir, I think. Your vital air source. But anyway, nice, pretty, brand new air compressors. And they're going to mount upside down underneath. And they've got these nice little rubber feet. So I might just try and see if I can mount them directly to the car. If not, I'm going to have to make some sort of bracket or standoff or something to make them awesome. Other than that, I don't think, like I said, I'm not getting super ambitious today. I do want to get some things started, some projects like the chassis mount wing area, the battery hold down tray, and obviously I want to get the wire harnesses back in, or at least mocked up and in the general area. I talked to Josh today. He didn't really say much. He said, "Oh, I'll be in the shop later on and I'll check it out." Well, check what out? He said worst case scenario, he'd had them out last week. So I guess it's a worst case. Anyway, yeah, as you guys can see, I'm still irritated at that whole ordeal. But I'm not going to let that bother me today. I'm going to concentrate on, I think, the battery hold down and the chassis mount wing area. Try and get this looking really good. I did close it and kind of mark where I think the lines should be. I might need to make it a little bit bigger because I don't know how big the brackets for the actual wing blades, the swan neck wing blades, are gonna be. But I will we'll see. I'm not liking the idea of cutting this because like I said, body work and custom fab work is fun, but man, it makes me nervous because if I screw it up, that's another $1,300 CSL hatch from Carbonetics. But yeah, we'll get it trimmed out as best I can, smooth it all out, try and keep it looking really nice, and let me know what you guys think. This is just obviously black primer. Should I paint this green too? I got the whole inside green. After I trim this up and make it all badass, I could probably go through and sand all this and make it pretty and then prime and paint that too. So it kind of matches the inside of the car. Obviously, the inside of the car is really bright. It's really awesome. It is really dusty, so it's not clean. But let me know what you guys think. Should I paint the underside of the hatch green when I paint the car? I'm probably going to have to touch up the engine bay up on the tops of the fenders, or where the fenders mount to. I think I could tape this off and paint it all green too. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Other than that, I'm going to get to work. I'm going to start trying to figure out how I'm going to mount that battery tray. It's got a whole bunch of really nice bolt holes all the way through it. The problem is the bar goes right in between them. So I might have to make some on the sides and just kind of maybe a little riser or something underneath, maybe a little rubber foot to kind of keep the vibration down. Just kind of riv nut and bolt it in there. We'll see. I haven't really made up my mind. I know where it's going. I just don't know how I'm going to get it there yet. I got to kind of think about that and get some bolts and drill some holes and see how awesome I can make it. But we'll get in a time lapse when I get to that part, and we'll keep on cranking. Whew, that stinks. Oh, that looks pretty good. I'm actually surprised because when I was cutting it, I thought it was going to look like crap. I can clean this up a little bit with some sandpaper. Yeah, I think that that's going to be pretty good. I might take this down a little bit more. Man, you know what? Perfect. Awesome. That looks really good. And I've got about an extra probably 1.5 to 2 inches on the stanchion bars. So I've got plenty of room to trim it down and make it awesome. That turned out pretty nice. Like I said, I might open this up just a slight bit more on the side on this side and down here on the front of the car. I don't know if I want to take that too much farther down because I want this piece intact, and I've got a little bit of a lip right here. So yeah, I might just sand that down nice and smooth and flat, sand this down a little bit, and hopefully that's big enough for the flat piece of metal, the plate here, to go up in there. This is kind of the general area that the battery tray is going to be in. So I'm going to need to actually, I don't think I'm going to need to. Once I cinch it down, I thought I was going to have to I might have to put a washer or something in that one. But this is where it's going to be. So I'm pretty sure we can start drilling some holes. I think that'll do just fine. Now, mind you, these Allens are really pretty. I'm going to get, these are M8s, so pretty big. The rib nut to go in it is really big, so I'm going to need to drill quite a big hole. I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do 3. If I do that right there, do that one right there. See, that's a big drop right there. I'm definitely going to need to add some washers if I put it right there, but then I'll probably drill down into the main bar that I welded in, and then put 2 more in. I think if I use my big drill bit, I can bevel the edge just like the factory ones. And then I'll have to put a washer in to kind of keep it super flat. But this will give me enough room to get behind it to put the hole down in place, and in the front also. Obviously I got plenty of room in the front, but yeah, I really like this aluminum deal. It looks a whole lot better than the up over the top hold downs. I don't like that. I didn't want that kind of look. This was a little bit more expensive, but it looks way better, so it'll be worth it. And then I can eliminate the battery handle too, so it'll just be a nice clean battery sitting here in between the 2 uprights. Back here I can probably do the relays and the fuses and circuit breakers and stuff for all of the components that I'm going to be using. And with the battery relocation big, I think it's like a 0 gauge wire. It's huge. I can probably put the circuit breaker and stuff over here. I don't want to get too far out of here. I want to try and keep it concealed in here, because I'm going to make 2 custom fiberglass speaker boxes to fit in the corners here to hold like a 10-inch speaker, like right here. So I think it'll look really good. And yeah, let's get after it. I'll start drilling some holes and popping some rib nuts in and getting this thing held down. Jesus. I was going to use some M6s, but the hold downs that came with it were M8s, so quite a bit bigger. Oh, dang, this is in there. And of course, I don't have a pair of pliers or gloves or anything. It's alright. Oh, that was easy. Oh, what the hell? That battery's dead. Thank God I brought my other drill. And this drill bit that I'm going to be using, I believe, is big enough to allow the... Yeah, that's plenty big enough. Oh, wait. No, that's not going to be. Oh, yeah, that's plenty big enough to get the rib nut into this back little piece of metal that I welded in. Whoo! Man, I love these sharp drill bits. And they're cheapies. They're the Hercules Harbor Freight Special titanium drill bit set. They're pretty good so far. I haven't had no problem with them. Oh, look at that. Perfect fit. That's going to be so awesome. Well, what the heck just happened here? Oh, that was so awesome because that was an M6. The M8s don't fit. Yeah, I'm going to need to go one size bigger. And the only size bigger I have is this really huge one. And I think that's going to be a little too big. Well, it's not really all that big. Much bigger. Jesus. That's a big bit. And that's a little bit big. But that's alright, because once I squish it up with the rib nut tool, it should tighten itself up. If it doesn't, then I'm going to have to plug it up and redo it. Hopefully it fits perfect. It's moving around a little bit. Oh yeah, I did it now. I want to get it perfectly centered in there. Oh, man. Perfect, I think. Looks it. Oh yeah, that looks great. Oh heck yeah. Oh, and it's perfect. It's great in there. Everything looks good. Everything's lined up perfectly. Make sure that we can slide that down in there. Oh man. Yeah, I like the way that turned out. That is perfect. And it sucked it down nice. The top of the rib nut actually acting like a washer. So there's a little gap down in there, but not a whole bunch. I'm probably gonna have to put a little washer, just like one, on the sides here. But I'm gonna drill a couple of more holes on the sides just to give it a little bit more structural rigidity. But man, that turned out great. I thought that was going to be a little harder. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Get rid of this. I can actually take that all the way off now. Well, doesn't really matter. Oh yeah, and get some nice clamps. I think I'm going to use the top post and run them straight back. Yeah, that looks amazing. I like it. And you get these nice little pretty things to go down in there and bolt in. And that holds the battery in place. Now the back ones will be a little hard to get to, but I pulled it out far enough to where I have enough space to get behind it. So, man, I think that looks pretty good. Yep, I think that looks perfect. Now I'm going to drill the other holes, sink that in, and I think that's done. And I've also got enough room, I believe, once I put that little washer in there. So the reason why I wanted this lifted up a little bit is because we're going to have to seal this hole up right here. And I'm going to use a nice, probably 3/8 or probably not 3/8, probably a little 1/4 inch aluminum plate for back here. And then what I plan on doing is running it up onto here. So it'll be cut out to fit to go around the wing stand and go underneath this and slide into place. I think that'll look really good, and it'll seal up this big hole I cut in the car. But I like this. This is awesome. We're going to go ahead and mount it up the rest of the way. And probably... holy cow, that's a heavy battery. Probably start working on some wires. Alright, well, there it is. Final look. I mean, these wires are going to be all nice and pretty loomed and connected and everything. It's not just all loosey-goosey and everything. And then obviously the uprights will be painted black. But that's kind of the general vicinity of, well, no, that's not the general vicinity. That's exactly where the battery is going to be sitting. So I'm pretty jazzed. Oh, there's that word again. Anyway, I'm going to have an X right here and then a nice flat piece of metal up here. So, yeah, I'm thinking that's going to be super awesome. And I went with the high dollar red top Optima battery because you didn't want to see a regular Duralast or Walmart brand freaking battery back here. So we went with the good looking one. Clean this up a little bit.
All right, I like it. I am no good at math or geometry, so I have to use big tools like this to make sure that I'm perfectly square. I tried drawing lines and trying making it look good. I ain't no good at that, so I'm gonna measure everything twice and mock it all up before I cut it. Then we'll come in and it should be nice and square. We'll see. But just as a added precaution, I want to make sure that I do everything in my power to make this straight, because this is in the back hatch area right there, and this is going to be totally visible. All right, so in theory, that should be the back line. And then I should be able to go straight up to that. Get this out. Get my angle here. That's it. I'll do this. Well, that's the right angle. Goes down to there. So in theory, now mind you, this is just a theory because, again, I'm not good at math. But in theory, that should be my line. Nice. Let's go see if we can't cut that. Let's see if this fits. Yeah, it fits pretty good. But does it look square is my question. Well, it doesn't look square, but it is. Yep. It is. You can't freaking lie to numbers. Numbers don't lie. So I'm gonna tack that into place. And in theory, oh wait, I should probably make another one exactly like that before I weld it on there, because I'll need one on the other end. Yep. Need to make another one. Where did my marker go? My back pocket, where it's always at. So now, like I said, I'm not good at geometry, so the X isn't like a perfect square X. It's gonna be, where's my tape measure? So it is going to be 12 inches wide by 9 inches tall. So these two lines, these two cuts, aren't the same angle, because this one is going to be longer and then this one's going to be shallower. So I hope I'm right on that, because if I'm not, I'm going to be in trouble, because I'm already cutting up all the metal and welding it together, and I'll have to make another one. I hope that's not the case, but I'm going to go quickly cut this last cut, well, adjust and cut this last cut. That'll give me 2 of them, and in theory that should be something kind of like that. And that's really good, because that actually looks like it's perfect. Nice. Be right back. Alright, so I welded up that real quick. I'm not going to put the other one in until I get it in the car and get everything all lined up and perfect. I'm going to weld that inside. But I'm not going to do that today. It's dark. It's getting really cold. I still need to clean up and put the wire harnesses back in the garage. I'm going to slide them underneath the car and clean up. And then I think I'm going to call it a day, because I'm getting a little chilly, and I'm kind of like, I want to get the chassis mount wing mount all finished up, but I also need to get ready for work tomorrow. And we've already got all of our bars cut and everything's good. So next time we come out, we're going to be putting this inside the car and, well, obviously grinding it all nice and pretty, and then we'll go ahead and put it inside the car, tack it up, pull the whole thing out, weld it all up, make it all super awesome, grind it pretty, and then paint it and put it back in for the final. But that's pretty much it for tonight, I think. Hope you guys enjoyed this content. It was a little bit all over the place. Well, not really. It was more or less, it was a little bit all in the back of the car and stuff that's not super critical, but hope you guys enjoyed the video. And don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share. Well, that kind of sucks. It looks really good. And I really like the way that it's turning out, except for I gotta make it again, because apparently I don't know if you guys can see that. That is way too big of a gap. So I must have mismeasured. And I mean, I could definitely squeeze that together, weld it, but the problem is I want this to be a bolt-on, bolt-off kind of thing. So if we ever have to take it off or anything like that, I don't want to be cutting it out, or if we have to do any kind of servicing or maintenance or anything like that, like I don't think there's going to be a whole bunch of taking it on and off, but just in case, I want to be able to take it off. And if I squeeze that together and weld it up, it's going to bind up, and I might as well weld the whole thing in there because it'll never come off again. But it's all right. I got good practice this time. Next time I'll make it 100%.